Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ojola for Mindset Transformation Africa, and on today's episode, I want us to talk about hurt and hurtful things. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. Hurtful or otherwise undesirable things often come with unseen benefits. Once you look past the immediately emotionally obvious. Hurtful or otherwise undesirable things often come with unseen benefits once you look past the immediate or immediately emotionally obvious. Today we will talk about that. Let me just start with this. Our emotions are immediate and intense. When something hurtful or undesirable happens, whether it is rejection, whether it is betrayal, whether it is failure, or you are just struck with some dose of bad luck, our first reaction is almost always emotional. We feel anger, sadness, frustration, disappointment. And those emotions, yes, they are valid, but they have a way of narrowing our perspective. We don't usually see the bigger picture when we are that emotional. Imagine looking through a camera lens that is zoomed in too far. All you see is the pain. You see the hurt. You see the undesirable outcome. But what if you zoomed out? What if you could see the entire picture, the entire landscape, everything surrounding that particular moment? That is the challenge that we face, to zoom out, to look past the immediate emotional impact of what just happened to us and to ask ourselves, what else is here? What is beyond what I'm feeling right now? See, there are hidden gifts of pain. It is often said that pain is a great teacher, but let us be honest. Nobody wants to enroll in that class. Nobody wants to be taught by pain. Yet, life doesn't ask for our permission before it throws something on our lap. It's important for you to know that life hands us lessons that are wrapped in discomfort. And it is up to us to unwrap them. Here's the thing. Hurtful or undesirable situations often force us to grow in ways we will not choose voluntarily. They stretch us, they challenge us, they push us beyond our comfort zones. For example, rejection. When someone says no to you, whether it is a job, whether it's a relationship, whether it's an opportunity, it hurts. It stings, but rejection often redirects us to something better. It teaches us resilience. It helps us to refine our goals. It sometimes saves us from situations that were not truly aligned with our potential. Also, failure. Failure is another one of those undesirable experiences that comes with hidden benefits. It's a mirror that shows us what did not work and why that thing did not work. It's a recalibration tool. It's a tool for pivoting. Every failure brings you closer to success. That is if you are willing to learn from it, though. If you're not willing to learn from it, you will just see all you will see before you is failure. Or maybe you've experienced loss. Loss, whether it is the loss of a loved one, the loss of a job, the loss of a dream, it's profoundly painful. It is painful, it hurts. But it also deepens our capacity for empathy. It deepens our capacity for gratitude. It makes us to self-reflect. See, loss reminds us of what truly matters and helps us to prioritize our lives differently. And there is a role that time plays here. Let's talk about that for a minute. Time has a way of revealing the hidden benefits of hurtful or undesirable events. But in the moment, those benefits are almost impossible to see. And the reason is obvious, because our emotions are too raw. Think about a time when something didn't go your way. Maybe you did not get the job you wanted. Maybe someone walked out of your life. At that time, it felt like the end of the world. But now, looking back, you might realize that it was a blessing in disguise. Maybe that rejection led you to a better opportunity. Maybe that loss cleared the way for something new to enter your life. Time gives us perspective. It allows us to see the bigger picture. And here's the key here. You don't have to wait for years to gain the perspective. You don't have to wait for years. You can start training yourself to look for hidden benefits, even in this present moment that you are right now. See, you need to shift your mindset totally. You need to shift your mindset. So, you need to train yourself to look beyond the immediately emotionally obvious. And how do you do that? The first thing I will say is pause before reacting. When something hurtful or undesirable happens, take a moment to pause. Resist the urge to react impulsively. Give yourself space to process what just happened to you. Then you ask yourself better questions. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what can I learn from this? It is difficult to shift a perspective like that, but it is possible. And ask yourself, how can this experience serve me? In the long run, in the short term, how can I learn and be better from this experience? And like I said when I started this, you zoom out. You look at the bigger picture. You remind yourself that this moment is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. It is not the whole story. What feels devastating now might look completely different when you look back at it. In hindsight, it will look completely different. And finally, you focus on your growth. Do you understand me? That's how you shift your mindset. That's how you train yourself to look beyond the immediately emotionally obvious. You focus on growth. Every challenge has the potential to teach you something. So focus on what you can gain from the experience you are going through right now. Focus on what you can gain, whether you can gain resilience, whether you can gain wisdom, whether you can gain a new perspective. Focus on growth. You've read stories upon stories of people that were able to transform their life through pain. Oprah Winfrey, she was fired from her first television job as an anchor. What did she do? She could have let that rejection define her, but instead she used this as a stepping stone to create one of the most successful media empires in history. You've read about J.K. Rowling. Before becoming one of the best-selling authors of all time, she faced rejection after rejection from publishers. But those rejections eventually pushed her to refine her craft and ultimately share her reporter with the world. Remember Nelson Mandela. In prison for 27 years, Mandela endured unimaginable hardship. Yet, he emerged from that experience not with bitterness, but with a commitment to reconciliation and leadership that changed South Africa forever. I know these are extreme examples, but the principle applies to all of us. Hurtful and undesirable experiences don't have to define us. They can refine us. It's important for you to be able to differentiate between the emotionally obvious and the unseen benefit. You need to be able to acknowledge that the emotional impact of hurtful event is real. Dismissing those emotions does not help you, all right? What we are talking about is learning how to hold the two truths at once. Saying this is painful, but there is also something valuable here that I'm willing to look into. This particular dual awareness doesn't erase the pain, don't get me wrong, but it gives your pain purpose. It turns your suffering into a catalyst for growth. See, you cannot remain stuck. All right, what happens when we don't look beyond the immediately emotionally obvious? What happens when we let our pain or undesirable outcomes define us? What happens is that we get stuck. We replay the same story over and over and over again in our minds. We become victims of our circumstances instead of victors over them. And most importantly, we miss the opportunities hidden within those challenges. See, when you stay stuck in the emotional response, you rob yourself of the chance to grow. You rob yourself of the chance to evolve. You rob yourself of the chance to create something better out of your situation. This is what I want you to do today. Turn your pain into power. See, the same energy that fuels your pain can fuel your progress. It's all about how you channel them. Instead of letting rejection break you, let it motivate you. Instead of letting failure discourage you, let it teach you. Instead of letting loss defeat you, let it deepen your appreciation for what remains. See, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. Suffering is optional. The difference lies in how you choose to respond to what happened to you. So the next time life throws you a curveball, you need to remember this. There is more to the story than what you are feeling right now. Look at the bigger picture. Zoom out. Look for the hidden benefit.